Hello and welcome to another episode of Health Matters on Channels Television. Thanks for staying with us. I am Mary Alale Yusuf. Apex Health Body, WHO, estimates that only 70% of those living with HIV know their status. 7.5 million more people need to get access to testing services for the percentage to increase to 90%. That's the percentage of those who would know their status. At the end of 2016, about 36.7 million people were living with HIV globally, and 1.8 million new infections had been recorded. Having claimed more than 35 million lives since it started, HIV is considered to be a major global public health issue. Global antiretroviral therapy coverage for pregnant and breastfeeding women living with HIV is high at 76%. The Chief Executive Officer of the Lagos State AIDS Control Agency, LSACA, Dr. Oluseyi Temowo, is my guest on the show today. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Let's start with these 2016 figures, 1.8 million new infections. Can you tell us what age group, or what types of people make up the most of this group?
Thank you very much. You find that most of the people that we're talking about are those aged between 15 to 44 years of age, group that we call adults.
Relatively young people.
Young people, that's right.
And do they have any particular lifestyle, or it's just anybody?
Well, amongst them, we categorize them into general population and key populations.
Okay.
When we say general population, those are the people that we believe that they are just people that live normal lifestyle, people that their sexual life can actually relatively be said that is a normal one that they do. But you talk about key populations, these are people that we believe that they have what we call risky sexual lifestyle behavior.
Okay.
Amongst them are what we call female sex worker, those that you find in hotels, those that do commercial sex as a trade. And then for the second people, we call it men that sleep with MSM. These are people that practice what we call anal sex. Okay. A man, you see a man being a wife of another man.
Yes.
That is
That's
gay men.
Same-sex relationship.
And then the third person we talk about is people that are, injecting the same with drugs. You want to have something that will make you to feel like, and those are people that we actually term as key populations. Okay.
Now, we're to assume, of course, that these key populations would be more involved with this spread, or would contribute more to the spread of HIV and AIDS. Is that correct?
That is correct. By the unit statistics shows that you have high prevalence among all these key populations. But over the last 3 years, we are seeing a downward trend among the FSW, which is the commercial sex worker, because of the increase in the usage of condom.
Okay.
So it's coming down amongst them. But the challenge we have is the one with the MSM, men that sleep with men. Rather than coming down, it's even increasing.
And what would be the reason for that?
For me, I believe that this set of people, they have what we call elusive lifestyle. You see them in a spot today, tomorrow you don't find them again. And of course, because of the social status behind it, our religious value, somebody will say, how can I find my son involved in gay and all that? So they don't want people to know who they are. And of course, another thing is that, of course, they also live what we call heterosexual lifestyle. Some of them still have their wives. And so the prevalence is increasing among them. But for the other set of people that I mentioned to you, the commercial sex worker is coming down. For those that inject drugs, it's also coming down. So we have a challenge among the MSM.
Okay, statistics say that from between 2000 and 2016, HIV infections fell by 39%, and HIV-related deaths fell by 1/3. So the picture is looking better.
That's right.
But the question I want to ask is, how much of this did Nigeria or Africa contribute to? Are we part of this good story, or are we the ones bringing, everybody back?
I would say, yes, we are part of the good story, because over the last 10 years thereabout, there has been increased awareness about the deadly disease of HIV/AIDS. I will talk about Nigerian story, actually. In Nigeria, what we have is that we have the trend, common among the male belt. We talk about Benue State now, for instance. As at 10 years down the lane, it's roughly about 13% But when you take statistics now, we have about 8%. So it's coming down, actually.
Okay.
So one of the things that we see that might be area where we have strength is because of massive health awareness, increase in health facility usage, because you see in Benue, we have what we call this traditional mutilation of genital female private parts that can increase
the spread because of infected instruments. Okay.
And thereby, because there is now increase in terms of awareness and campaign against such practices, the prevalence in that place is coming down. So we are part of the success rate.
Okay, that is encouraging. Okay, now Michel Sidibe, that's the ED of UNAIDS. Yeah. He said, I want to quote, "No matter what their health needs are, everyone requires health solutions that are available and accessible, free from discrimination and of good quality."
That's right.
Now, in relation to HIV/AIDS, I want to pick some key things which he said here. We know that access is one of our problems here. What are you doing about increased access to treatment?
Well, I'll talk about Lagos State, for instance. One of the things that Lagos is doing is to make sure that in all the primary health care facilities, there is what we call the usage of HIV services there. We have what we call LACA managers. These are people that we have trained that they will represent us as an agency. We represent the states. So going to all the local government, you have somebody who is a focal person.
Okay.
Somebody that you can say, okay, this is the person that is in charge of this local government, that you want to know anything about HIV, is going to tell you about it, and is going to educate all the health practitioners.
So this person is designated for that job?
For that job, actually. And of course, we have increased the number of primary care in Lagos State, all through Lagos State. So anywhere you go to in Lagos State, be it in the villages, be it in the city, you're going to find people talking about HIV/AIDS. That has helped us, for us as Lagos State. And that has increased the access to that. That's why if you go to anywhere in Lagos State now, you find out that people can access health care. And if you're a pregnant woman,